Hi everyone! So welcome to the month of December. I am very excited because I have a whole lot of things planned to show you guys. Hopefully my plan works out and I am able to post as I have scheduled to post, but either way I have a whole bunch of activities for us to do during the month of December. I personally love this month. I mean, I'm not so much in love with the weather and the cold temperatures. I get cold so easily. Like right now, my hands are freezing. But still, it is a month to really enjoy the coziness at home and to do fun activities with paper and paint. So let's go over to my desk and I can show you guys what I have planned. But if you're new to this channel, hi, welcome. I am Christine, also known as Sissy, and I'm an illustrator. And I love to create little books and stories and illustrations. My main focus is in children illustrations. So today, being December 1st, and it's the first little door in our advent calendar, I thought that I would show you some goodies that I have created for today. So let's jump over to the desk, shall we? So my office space is a mess right now. My kids were in here for just a couple of minutes, so I am going to clean this up before I show you guys what we're going to do today. Sitting down. Okay, so I'm now finally sitting down at my big table, my desk. I'm not filming there because the sunlight is really streaming in, which is really nice, and I don't want to close the blinds. So I think this setup is much better. Yeah, I tend to sit there more in the late afternoons when the sunlight is a bit better. So yeah, so I thought that today I would show you guys a really cool coloring page that I created that I will be having up on my website for you guys to download and to create with kids or for yourself. So it is this lovely Christmas scene. Hold on, I need to straighten this up. It's this lovely Christmas scene that I created first in my sketchbook. Let's see if I can find my sketchbook, because that's how I like to work. I like to work first on paper and then go back and use Procreate. So I was using my large Royal Talons sketchbook, and it's just this little sketch that I did in my notebook that I then transferred into Procreate. And so now I have this really lovely, illustration. And the idea is, as you can see here, it's a front and back type of situation. Unfortunately, this one I printed upside down. So it should be the same orientation as the illustration, but oh well, this is just to show you guys. So there are two files. You print them front to back, and then you cut these out. You can either print them on two individual pieces of paper, because then you could glue them on thicker cardstock. Like I have this black one right here. You could get like a craft. In Action, actually, they sell this really nice block of paper. Let me show you guys. It comes with 3 different tones of paper: white, craft, and black. And so it's really nice. So it comes with different intensities. In the first one, you have some nice normal white paper, but then you also get more of a thicker cardstock. Then you also have the craft. You have normal craft paper, which I personally love to draw on craft paper. And then you get the cardstock. And then you get the same in black. You get the regular black paper, which is really great for, night scenes, collage. You could even do, you know, just illustrations, nighttime illustrations with gouache. And then they have the cardstock. This is what it looks like, the front. And you can get this at Action. So if you have Action, it's A4 size. I would go and search for this because it's really good and cheap. So this is the back. So you cut it up in 6, and then you can give your child 1 section a day. There's 6 sections, and so then they can color it, and then once everything is colored, they can put it together and they can see the nice scene. So in this scene, we have Santa looking at a snow globe with a hedgehog or a porcupine, I can't tell the difference, and a little mouse. Then you have a little girl gnome doing a snow angel. Then you have Krampus. And the reason why I put Krampus in the scene is not because, you know, I want any scary images, but I'm actually potentially working on a little story about how Krampus is actually a good guy. I'm hopefully going to have that done for one of these videos, so watch out. And then you have a little gnome boy in his basket because he was going for a ride. You have some squirrels in the tree, you have a lovely owl, you have a little snow rabbit, you have a little deer, and then you have Santa's house. So there are a lot of elements, and when you cut it up into 6 sections, which I can show you now, so let's cut it up and we can look at each section on its own. So this here is just regular cheap printer paper, but I did try out printing this illustration on Action thicker 130 gram paper, and it takes well with watercolors. You could do acrylic paints, you could do gouache on there, or you could just do regular markers or crayons or pretty much any material you wanted.
Now let me show you a little demonstration of the Action paper printed from my printer.
Right. So let's try this out. I have my water here. I have my watercolor palette. Oops, ouch. Watercolor palette with my Shinhan Pass and some other watercolors, but mainly Shinhan Pass. All right, let's give it a shot. I'm gonna just grab some random paintbrush. Let's try this one. Got my rag here. All right, so let's try this cream paper. So I know that this paper tends to not be the best when it comes to watercolors. So I'm not expecting a whole lot, but I first just wanted to try with water. Let's go here to the tree. It seems to be fine. I mean, this paper isn't the best. All right, now let's just try with water on this white one. And I'll do in the same area. Yeah. So it does spread just a little bit, but it's okay. Okay. So there's some feathering, more in this white one, less in this cream one. So far the cream is better than the white. So now I'm gonna add some paint. And let's see how that goes. Let's see, I'm gonna do, so this is Krampus. And I'm actually going to be creating a little short story of him. So wait for that. It will come. I'm just gonna mix. Right now I'm mixing some violet with some red. And I'm gonna add some brown. So far, these are all Shinhan Pass. I love Shinhan Pass. Oh no, this is the Schminke Ultra Granulated. This one here is Shinhan Pass. This one is Shinhan Pass. The one I'm grabbing here. Okay, then I'm gonna grab some blue because I want to make like an interesting gray. Yep, perfect. Just a little bit more red. Yeah, it creates like a purpley. That's good. Maybe just a little bit more brown. Yes, perfect. All right, so I'm going to use that color right here. Let's see. Oops. Not bad. So I don't want to give too much away from my story. It's still bubbling. Cool, cool, cool. I think I'll add just a little bit of this like peachy color with the purple to create face. Holding it up nicely. Grab some of the gray again for the ear. Okay, not bad. Let some of it up. Not bad. So far this one's winning. So now I'll do the feet. They will be like, I'm gonna add indigo. I'm gonna add this indigo color to the gray. For the legs. And the horns will be like a muted, like red wine, all color. Not bad. Okay, now let me try to do the same thing to the white page. So I'll do these first since I already have the colors mixed. And I'll do the legs, and I'm gonna have to make that gray again. It was a lot of fun to draw this. And now I need to make the gray. Do it over here with the green. And I added blue. And there you go. This one's a tad bit darker, but oh well. So far, so good. So just here, just adding a lot of water can kind of mess up, but that's more the paper, not so much the ink. And that can happen with cheaper paper that it can really, That's a tree. Oops. Can really mess up and break apart the fibers of the paper. And you can kind of lift, which is nice. Trying to lift up some of this tree. Okay, so let's do a side by side. I mean, I personally prefer the beige, like creamy colored paper because that's just my personal preference. It gives already so much warmth to the illustration. But the white one also works if that's what you prefer. And so I think they turned out really nice.
And now back to our normal broadcast.
Just usually standard printers, which I have at home. I have a cheap Epson standard printer, will print on 130 gram paper. I did try with 300 gram paper. It wouldn't go through. So that is not something that will work. However, just regular printer will take 130 gram, which is already pretty good. Just making sure that everything is, I think I need to chop off part of this. Either way, we'll just leave it like that. Advent. All right, so now let's look at the sections. So we have Advent puzzle. And then on this side, it's part of the little house with the reindeer. And so that looks really nice. So that could be like the first one that they do. So that's the first one. So they have things to color in each one. I made sure that each segment, this is the owl, each segment has a bit to color. See, here is the complete snowman with the little mouse and the snow globe and just a bit of the porcupine. And it's a very simple puzzle. I mean, this can be done for little kids. See, here you have this, the part of the Krampus and part of the little gnome. Here you have the squirrel with the tree and then the rest of Krampus. And then here you have the little bunny, the rest of the porcupine, and the little girl. So there's always like a main thing in the frame for them to color. And it's just a cute little thing. Like I gave it to my 4-year-old and he was really proud that he could do the puzzle. And he really loved coloring it and looking at all the little elements that are in this composition. Because I've always wanted to create what is called in German a Wimmelbuch, which is like what are they called in English? It's a seek and find, like searching book where you have to look for certain things. There's a whole bunch happening in the frame and you have to look for like the little rabbit, like Where's Waldo type thing, but with children's books. And so I've always wanted to create that. And so this is a really nice start. So yeah. All right, so I came back from my class and I wanted to finish this page. I went with the class to Oceanopolis and I sat down to draw a little bit, but not much because I was talking to students and I have here some penguins. I first just started drawing like the rudimentary shapes and then I was going to go back in, but I wanted to, and then here just we sat with the sharks and I was really enjoying drawing this scene. I really liked sitting here. It was just so beautiful. And so I had given them a page, this craft paper, where they could then either draw it like in a collage or page by page. And I was trying to show them, but I was just doing it very fast and I really dislike how it looks. So I was gonna paint over this and then do some penguins and then show it in class. And so I thought you guys could keep me company while I'm doing that. So let me just put a layer down of acrylic paint and then we can come back. All right, so I chose my colors. I think I'm going to do a mixture of probably these. I doubt this one. Probably more of these. Let me see if I find my hot pink. Okay, so I drew different penguins. I just used my pencils. I used 3, well, not this one. It's too similar to the background, so you can't even see it. I used 2 Cahan d'Ache luminance. One is the lemon yellow 240 and the Thaloxian blue 162, and then the Derwent Light Fast green earth. And so now I thought I would paint, and I was thinking of maybe then doing like some design in the background, some pattern. I love keeping in my Pinterest board a lot of Victorian patterns and like illuminated manuscript patterns, and I have them all saved, and I always like to pull them out and look at them for some inspiration. So that's what I will be doing for this. But first I'll paint the penguins, and then I'll do the background. So I'll be back. All right, so I drew them with my colored pencils, and now I am using acrylic paint to create like an underlayer. I started drawing some algae as a pattern to fill some of the spaces. And so I'm first just doing all the blue. I want to do a layer of blue, and then on top some of like the dark plum neutral color that I have instead of black, because they're more of a plum purpley color with some tones of brown and even blue. I see that they have different specks of color in there, like fur. I think it's fur, right? Or would they be feathers? It's more like fur. I don't know. People who know can comment down below and correct me. I don't know the proper terms. But I'm so enamored with the penguins. When we arrived with my class, they had just opened, like we were one of the first groups in, and they were waking up. The penguins were waking up. And so some were still asleep. And they sleep in these really uncomfortable positions where they tuck their head like behind their necks. I don't know, I can't really describe it, but it looks super uncomfortable. But they looked so happy and content. And then we watched as they were being fed, and they were going wild, just swimming around and so happy to receive their food. But I mean, they're still in an enclosure, so it really makes you feel sad for them that they're not in the wild. But at the same time, they're there because they needed medical care and attention. So it's not all bad. And there's this documentary on Disney about penguins. I think like the main character they named Steve, and it's this type of penguin. It was so cute. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna end the video here because my kids are upstairs and it's time to do the bedtime routine. So thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this little advent calendar, I will be posting it soon to my website within the next couple of days. I'll post a little update picture on YouTube community tab, letting you guys know when this is available. So yeah, so thanks for watching the video. Leave a comment down below of certain things that you would like to see on this channel, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.